Okay, so here's my next project. I'm building a barrel stove, and I opted out of buying a barrel kit for a couple different reasons. Number one, I'm cheap, and number two, I had a bunch of scrap metal laying around and kind of wanted to challenge myself, to be honest, to see if I can make this and make it work without buying that barrel kit. You know, those things are like, depending on where you get them, after shipping, you're probably looking at about $60-70. If you get the one with the big door, you're probably looking at around, actually for the double barrel kit, you're looking at around $100. So I just opted out of doing that. Figured that I could save myself some money and just use some scrap and make it work with what I got. I also wanted a bigger door. This is what I had in here. I've got if you watch my other videos, you'll know I have a 1,300 square foot shop. It's empty, it's not well insulated. It's a mess right now because I still haven't cleaned it up. I'm getting things dealt with little by little. This little stove was good to probably warm this place up about maybe 10 degrees over what it was when I came in here cold. That's not going to be good enough. I live in Syracuse, New York, and it's cold as a motherfucker over here, and it's only getting colder. So found these barrels on Craigslist for $8 a piece and jumped all over it. So anyways, here's my shop for those that haven't seen my other videos and seen what a mess it is and how big it is. So anyways, back to the stove. You'll see here, this is just some angle iron, just attaching the ends. This is the face side of it, obviously. The door is going to be here. On the kits, down here at the bottom, there's a vent area. I didn't want that there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put sand inside this to try to keep the bottom from burning through. So I'll probably have the sand about just below this opening here. So there's not going to be any vent here. As far as the vent's concerned, what I'm probably going to do is the hinges will be on this side. The latch mechanism, usually there's a little bar right here and the latch swings down and clips into it. I'm going to have two spots for it to clip in. One shut and one maybe about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch to an inch gap. So the door stays propped open but still secure to get some airflow in there. We'll see how that works. If it doesn't work too well, what I'll do is I'll cut some slots on the door and put an adjustable dial thing here, or drill a hole in it and put a slide down flap. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, to be perfectly honest. I think if the door's cracked, it's going to get plenty of ventilation. Here's the plate steel that I plan on using. It's 3/16, some leftover that I had from building my bumpers on my truck. If you look at my videos, you'll see those. It's going to work out. That's a million times thicker than this. I mean, I'm over exaggerating, but that door's not going to have any problems. If this barrel's going to start warping and having issues before that door does, so I'm not too worried about that. You'll notice that I'm using the bottoms of the barrels for the face. And the reason why I did that is these barrels are open lids. Both of them are. And I've got they've got these metal rings that bolt clamp, like right there. You run the bolt through it and it squeezes it down. So I've only got one of those clamps though. So what I did is, with the burn part, the burn barrel, I actually haven't even finished it. It's about 3/4 of the way finished. Maybe not even that, maybe half. I'm welding the lid to it so it's permanently shut. And the only reason I stopped is because I ran out of gas in my welder. And if you can see, these welds are getting sloppy as hell. That's partly because I didn't give a damn to clean anything, and also because I'm not running at the proper pressure of gas at all. I ran it empty. So anyways, I didn't want this down here at the bottom. If I have any issues whatsoever where I need to create vents down here or whatever, I didn't want this here. So plus I didn't want to have any issues with this top barrel I'm going to use the ring on it, and I'm going to use it for an access area. So I wanted that to be towards the back where this connection pipe is, so that I can get in there and around that and sweep it out really good and make sure I don't have any issues in either one of the pipes. So that's my preference. Hopefully it'll work out. Like I said, this is my first barrel stove. You know, hopefully I don't regret ruining a couple barrels and using up all my scrap, but I doubt it. I think it's going to work just fine. So let me flip this over and show you the other side real quick. We've got some wire hanging here. It's not exactly easy to do with one hand. It's like wrestling a fat chick. Okay, so here's the other side. As you can see, I'm just welding it along here, and you can see that I obviously didn't clean it. I cleaned this bottom one, but the lip of the barrel, but not the lid. So it is what it is. It's going to hold. I'm going to weld that bead all the way around. It's going to be plenty enough. I'm more concerned with this. This is the stovepipe that would normally, you would buy this, and there would be a couple cast iron shoes or bases that would bolt to the barrel. And you would use your 6-inch pipe to couple between them. And then you would have your legs in here somewhere, you know, that would bolt to the barrels. Saw somebody else on here. He was building a different style of barrel stove, and he was doing stuff like this, where he was just cutting the hole, shoving the pipe in there, and he wasn't even actually welding it. He was just pressure fitting it in there and then running a couple of screws in here to keep the pipe from dropping through. I opted to weld it. I'm not even close to being done. These welds are hideous. You know, it's as sloppy as you can get. I'm trying not to burn through it. This metal's really thin. Again, it's hideous, no excuse for it, but it should work. This side sticks out. You can see that it's about 3 inches or so. This side's about 2 inches. This is the main burn barrel, so I didn't want it to hang down too low inside of there. This top one, you know, it didn't really matter. I'm kind of actually hoping this will help it a little bit. I was considering putting a couple of long baffles in here to force the heat and the smoke to zigzag at least 3 times through here before I can get to the exhaust, the chimney flue. That's going to be down here, obviously. I still have to cut that out. Might do it tonight, I don't know. I was using a jigsaw to cut it out. It was cheap Black & Decker bullshit, and it pretty much started self-destructing in the middle of doing it. So that's the progress. You know, I'll do a follow-up video. The follow-up video is going to be pretty much me having this thing outside. It's not going to be 100% finished. It'll be this thing outside, me burning off all the paint and crap that's stuck on here. If you look at this lid here, it's got the tar. There's a tar on the other lid. Barrels are clean, but I still got to get the paint off the outside. So you'll see me polluting the entire neighborhood doing that. Hopefully nobody gets pissed off and it's not that big of a deal. So that's the follow-up video. This is part 1. Subscribe to my videos. Check out my other ones. I've got, you know, this table that I built. I'm actually going to do a video here in just a few minutes of a project that I made that I'm actually really proud of. It turned out really good. It's an Ottoman coffee table, and it's awesome, man. You check it out. If I haven't uploaded it by the time you watch this, you know, check a little bit later or check tomorrow because it'll be there. All right, talk to you later. Subscribe, like it, comment. Let me know what you think. Bye.